Today, we've got a great interview from Jason Barnard, who is the CEO of Foremost Lithium. Ticker on the NASDAQ is FMST, and ticker on the Canadian Stock Exchange is FAT. Jason, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Z. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. We've got so much to get into. It should be a great conversation to look under the hood. But before we get started, if you could explain it to me like I'm five, what is it that your company does?
Our company is a hard rock lithium exploration company. Our goal is the production of lithium oxide ore to produce lithium hydroxide, which is available to go into electric vehicle batteries. We have four distinct lithium projects, 43,000 plus acres in Snow Lake, Manitoba. We have a current resource there on our Zoro property. We have 40 plus pegmatite dikes. So we're in the business of drilling off reserves of lithium. We'll be there in our winter drill program, increasing our tonnage and increasing our reserves. And we also are in the business of finding new discoveries. We found one already, and we will be drilling our other three properties, Peg North, Grass River, and Jean Lake, upcoming this winter. And the company also is looking forward to many other corporate developments that allow us to finance further lithium exploration.
I appreciate the insights. So there's so much about lithium that's interesting, but I'm more curious just to start us off here. There's so many other lithium exploration and mining companies out there, right? So what really kind of sets you apart currently from your competitors?
Well, see, I think I mentioned it. We do have a current 43101 compliant, or it's also SK 1300 compliant resource on our Zoro property. That resource is on one dike. We have 16 dikes on at Zoro. So we're set apart because we do have a reserve, and we're looking forward to increasing tonnage at that current reserve. We also have a distinct advantage insofar as we are located near one of the only hard rock lithium spodumene concentrate mines in North America. There's only two. One is 400 miles away from us. It's called the Tanko mine. So we have a unique situation here in North America where we could blast and dig and crush on site our ore and send it to that mine for a future revenue stream. So that is very unique. There's only two mines in all of North America. We're near one at Snow Lake, Manitoba. Additionally, we have many different assets in the lithium space. So we're in the business of buying and selling and doing joint ventures on properties. So we have a distinct advantage on companies that do not have a reserve, do not have the ability to ship out ore to get a revenue stream in the future. So that's how I would differentiate us between your normal lithium exploration companies that are sort of looking for their first discovery.
All right, so we talked about what separates you from the competitors. I want to talk about a recent trend that I've kind of seen and get your take on it. In my opinion, the electric vehicle market is what fueled the need for lithium as much as it did. Recent reports, right, suggest that EV car sales have slowed down a bit. What's your kind of take on that?
My take is that the sales. There's reports out that Q3 sales in North America increased by 50% for electric vehicles. Now, if that's not meeting previous sort of explosive growth, I feel that's fine. The growth globally and especially in North America in electric vehicles is here to stay. Lithium, yes, is fueled by electric vehicle production. And I feel that going forward in the future years, we'll see much more demand as basically people are getting more affordable electric vehicles that they can purchase. So there will be an increase in vehicles, but a decrease in those more expensive sort of luxury vehicles. I feel the future is bright for lithium.
And that kind of brings me to my next point about how lithium pricing has decreased. I'd say about like 60 to 70% from all-time highs over a year ago. Do you see that rebounding? And if so, how does it kind of impact a company like yourself with the fluctuation?
Well, I do see it rebounding. We've had, a quadrupling of price over the years, and we've had a pullback recently where the lithium hydroxide price has sort of hit its, let's call it 52-week bottom again. I feel that this has created lower valuations in lithium explorers and lithium mining companies. And I feel that the sort of glut that China has because they've sort of hoarded a lot of supply as they were worried about supply in the future. I feel the demand will carry on, and that as the world eats through that current surplus of lithium hydroxide, demand will outstrip supply, and you'll see that commodity rebound. And I feel, in my opinion, rebound strongly. So valuations are good. You've sort of got to buy when valuations are good. So this is creating opportunities to joint venture and get involved with other assets. There are opportunities in sort of the lower commodity lithium hydroxide price space, and we're looking forward to taking advantage of future higher prices.
Now, you do see the market rebounding. You look forward to seeing the future prices and the higher ones, especially. Where do you kind of see the lithium market in, let's say, like the next 5 to 10 years? And more importantly, where do you see Foremost Lithium in that aspect as well, 5 to 10 years?
Well, great question, Z. I see Foremost Lithium benefiting by increasing its reserves and benefiting being here in North America. The Inflation Reduction Act has created a need for onshoring the lithium supply chain onto North America and taking away, whether it's geopolitically wise or just to achieve the tax credits that come when you do buy a vehicle with lithium sourced from North America. Also, there are green credits that are coming to North America. So there's an extra situation here in North America where people want to see the lithium supply chain onshored, onshore to North America. So there's an extra opportunity for companies like Foremost Lithium to do very well in that environment. And I see as prices increase in the future and our reserves increase in the future, that will be very good for shareholders and for shareholder value. So we'll benefit greatly.
Definitely a big congratulations to you, as we mentioned at the top of the show, for you being listed on the NASDAQ as you trade under the symbol FMST. What are some comparable companies that we can look at that are currently trading, and what makes them similar to Foremost?
So thank you. Yes, that was quite the milestone. We, in August 22nd, listed on the NASDAQ under the symbol FMST. We are one of the only hard rock lithium exploration and mining companies on the NASDAQ. So this gives us a unique opportunity in a very large market to be the go-to symbol when you want to go and own lithium in the ground on the NASDAQ. Comparable companies, we have one called Atlas Lithium. The company is probably about 8 months ahead of us, but yet they trade at over 10 times our valuation. They're in Brazil. They're near the Sigma mine. The Sigma mine, $4.5 billion concentrate mine in Brazil. They're in proximity to that, so we share that story with them as we are in the proximity to the Tanko mine in Manitoba. Also, they have started drilling. Their drills are doing very well, and it's had a very good share price and for their shareholders. We will be drilling upcoming in our winter season. So although we're a little behind them, we share our story. Stocks you can trade that are hard rock lithium stories on the NASDAQ. Piedmont, PLL on the NASDAQ, was $1 billion valuation. They're down a bit from that now, but they actually own 25% of the NAL mine. That's the only other hard rock lithium mine in North America. And they also own reserves in the area. So there are a couple situations, a couple companies you can trade, but it's limited on the NASDAQ, and that's why we went and listed there and look forward to bringing our story to U.S. institutional and retail investors.
Let's talk about the story of Lithium Lane. That's the project, and I'm curious what stages they are at.
So the Lithium Lane projects are Zorro, Peg North, Grass River, and Jean Lake. Zorro, where we had our first discovery in 2018. The stock did very well. We raised the money. We drilled off our initial maiden resource. So Zorro, quite a bit ahead of other properties that we have. We are going back with the drills to Zorro. So that's the first time since 2018. And we look forward to drilling off not only where we have our reserve, but also we'll be in Dike 8, Dike 3. There's 16 dikes in total on Zorro. So Zorro a little further ahead. We have spent the money to de-risk drilling for new discoveries on G Lake, Grass River, and Peg North. And I look forward to drilling coming up on those three properties whereby we've spent the money and time de-risking targets. And so the Lithium Lane properties, number one, Zorro Reserve, and the others will begin there looking for new discoveries in the new year.
It's definitely going to be interesting what type of new discoveries you do get going into 2024, especially with the Brazil and everything else that you had mentioned. But something else that you had brought up was the Winston Gold and Silver project as well. That kind of caught my attention. If you could dive into it just a little bit more.
Certainly. Winston Gold Silver is 100% owned, 2,800-acre gold silver mining situation. The company IPO'd on this project, so Foremost was involved in gold silver exploration in its early days. The project has been worth upwards of $15 million before. Right now, we're getting no value for our gold silver situation. We've graded. This is a high-grade property that is graded between 20 grams per ton gold and up to 4,000 grams per ton silver on its sampling, and it's a vein system. We will go in and explore upcoming here, and our bankers in New York would like us to look at the situation as a spin-off, so that's then share for shareholders of Foremost, so that we can monetize on this asset and get the value we deserve, because there's none currently involved in Foremost evaluation. So moving forward with Winston Gold Silver and a wholly owned asset.
We've talked so much, Jason, about the past. We've talked about the success of the present as well. I'd love to kind of dive into what folks can expect into the future as well. So if you have any outlines, any forecasts for Foremost in the coming months, I'd love to get your insights.
My forecast would involve, the catalysts and the milestones that will be achieved by going and putting the drills into our Zorro property, and also going to explore for more discoveries on our other Lithium Lane properties. So when you go and you drill off and you see grades and tonnage, you should get the corresponding joy in the market, and hopefully the corresponding valuation that comes with that. So expect that in the near future from Foremost Lithium as well. I do feel that the small caps and micro cap companies have been not getting the attention. In fact, they've had their worst valuations since the 2020 COVID situation. So valuations are low. Heading into January and February, the talking heads are saying, well, the FANG stocks are doing well. There's 10 companies that are doing well out there, but the risk on situation rather than risk off should lead to better valuations on the NASDAQ for your microcap and small cap companies. So these are events to look forward to in the near future for Foremost.
All right. Well, we appreciate the insight. It was so great to have a conversation with you because, I mean, lithium is something that you always hear about on the news and articles, but it's kind of like, hey, what is it? But what are the companies that are running it as well, right? We like here at Benzinga, we like to talk about the thing behind the thing. And it's no question that y'all are that type of, it fits the bill of what you're doing. But thank you so much, Jason. I appreciate you for hanging out with us.
Thanks, Z. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you, chat, for viewing this interview as well. That was Jason Barnard, CEO of Foremost Lithium. Ticker on the NASDAQ is FMST and ticker on the Canadian Stock Exchange is FAT. We'll see you next time.